Wee! Hello. Good morning, Twitch and or YouTube. I am Josh Goldberg and I am excited to stream today. Also barely awake. Got my Twitch stream linked on my Twitter and my Fostodon. Life is good. Oh my god, I already have a chat. Oh, and it's stream elements. Alright. How do we turn that off? I don't want it to post every time I go on a thing. I guess it's fine. I'm still new to stream elements, so tell me if there are things I should be doing. I got overlays? Cool. Well, this is fancy. This is something I'll have to do another time. Anyway, good morning. Let's work on TypeScript. Oh, wait, I remember why I was going on stream elements, actually. Let's see, I got my bang Josh command here. There we go. Got my drip coffee. Got my bang sponsor command. And bang AST. Alright, so today I'm actually going to be working on TypeScript itself. That's exciting. I've hit this issue. Let me post it on Twitter and Fostodon, then I'll get back at you with a demo. So, today working TypeScript. Fixing an irksome little quirk in the move to a new file refactor. Hopefully fixing, I should say. Alright. So I've got this repo, let me open it up for you. Code, template, TypeScript node package, which is like a nice template for the TypeScript package. Let's get it all, get reset hard heads just to remove all the prior work I'd done on it. Oops. And it uses module resolution, what's the term for it? Node, or Node 16, which is an indication that this package uses the new ECMAScript modules for imports and exports, which means that you have to use the explicit extensions like .js. So if you were to forget one of these .js extensions, let's say if I remove it from there and go to the output index, let's just remove it there also, and then node lib index.js, you would get this annoying little cannot find module blah 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 imported from, because it's not using the explicit extension, which in ECMAScript modules and Node is actually necessary. So that's unfortunate. What I want to do is make sure that these always happen, but in the TypeScript refactor, move to new file, it actually doesn't respect that, even though it's a setting set in the module resolution. I'm just using an ESLint rule, import/extension saying missing file extension for whatever. But TypeScript should still know that if you're using module resolution node in your TS config, you should be able to know to always use the .js, the explicit. So that's unfortunate. And actually, I was going to file this on TypeScript, and I was getting all annoyed that I have to wait for them to confirm whether this is a bug they'd accept. But about a month and a week ago, someone already did. Burger SP. Very mysterious person with a emoji as their profile photo and hello world is their website. They posted refactored move to new file does not honor explicit file extensions. So here you go. This is something I'll be working on today. Which is good because I haven't had an excuse to contribute to TypeScript in ages. I just haven't had the time. So, oops. I'm I've been kind of itching to get back into it. In some of my conference bios, I put myself as like an irregular TypeScript contributor or regular TypeScript contributor even, which is a little aggressive. And I want to actually be able to back that up. Ooh, I forgot to thumbs up. There we go. All right. So this was actually originally filed in the VS Code repo, VS Code triage bot, and then they moved it over to TypeScript. Okay. So this impacts the TypeScript language service, which is a little bit more tricky to debug than the regular TypeScript, just type checker. The way you do it is you have two repos. I'll actually just completely restart VS Code to show you that process. And actually, there's a really good blog post from Andrew Branch, one of the TypeScript team members, on how to debug the TypeScript code base. I highly recommend it. And actually, I'm just going to ADCB is wonderful and the guide I'm using to debug the language service. Is Andrew Branch on Fastodon? Andrew Branch? Yeah. Good for you, Andrew. On the same server as me. Yay, Mastodon! Anyway, the way you do it for the language service is you use TSS underscore debug, some port number, code dot. So open VS Code with a particular environment variable on the folder you want to be the one that's debugged. So ds underscore debug code. I just have the scratch directory ts temp. Alright, and then I also open code TypeScript to the TypeScript repo. And now I should be able to run hereby, which is their build command. And let's see. Just to be sure, restart TS server with debugging enabled. You could see it here. And pause startup, so just to make sure I can get the breakpoint. And I'm going to attach to node process 9559 is the one that I specified in the command line. All right, there you go. See, I'm hitting my breakpoint. I'm going to zoom out actually just to get a little more text. Server.ts. Great. So if you ever want to look for where TypeScript does some sort of string, like where it, say, specifies the move to a new file, you look in diagnostic messages.json. This is mentioned in that blog post and is kind of how TypeScript is known to do its strings. So if you look up move to a new file, you just see this string confirming, yep, this is the one in there. Then if you look up the transformed version of it, move to a new file, only one location, great. So you can find where the diagnostic is used. Diagnostic is another way of saying user-facing string in TypeScript nomenclature. And we get to source, services, refactors, move to new file.ts. Great. That seems relevant to my interests. And I'm gonna fold all because there are a lot of functions here and I don't know what any of them do. All right. So just scanning through the functions, just reading quickly. There's this const move to new file action, which is an object describing it, I'm guessing. We register the refactor, which has a bunch of functions with names like, or two functions, names get available actions and get edits for action. But what I want to actually put a breakpoint on is the code that does the actual change, which I'm guessing is this do change function. You can tell I already had a breakpoint here because I was playing around with this at 4 in the morning. All right, so now let's just go ahead and constant value equals 7. I'm just going to undo a change that I made before. Why do I have so much extra crap in this directory? That's probably not good that I have a user folder here. Did I symlink to the ts temp directory all my data? That's not good. I shouldn't have deleted the things I just, okay, there we go. That's better. All right, value.ts, let's delete that file. Oosh, okay. Hope there wasn't anything sensitive in there. All right, so const value equals 7, move to new file. Ooh, here we go. And I hit the breakpoint, awesome. Look at this, great. Don't care about the call stack. All right, checker, usage, current directory. Let's look at all these locals. All right, so new file name is tstemp/value.ts. That's actually exactly what I want to see. All right, changes.create new file. That's nice. And then add new file to tsconfig, which I don't think actually happens if the file is already something that would have been included in the tsconfig. Let me just look at the old tsconfig to make sure. Yep, we're good. So that's nice. All right. So I think the first majority of lines here are just creating variables, getting the current directory, getting the extension, creating the new file name, which is the right file name, value.ts. But it's one of these two that I'm guessing is creating the import in the old file, changes.create new file, and add new file to tsconfig. And you know what? My bet is it's get new statements and remove from new file. That strikes me by name as the thing that's probably creating the import. So actually, you know what? Let me see if I could just look up import. All right, I see 240 instances. Yeah, I'll just put the debugger. Oh, wait. Get new file imports and add export in old file. So that looks promising. I'm going to put the debugger, the breakpoint right on there. And move to new file. And let's see what these imports look like. Oh. No imports. Prolog directives? What? Why are there no imports? No prolog directives, no imports. Body is just the one. What is the body's statement? Or what is the text of the thing? Yep. Now we properties of define reading text. All right. Body 0 dot kind is t. What is 241? Syntax kind 241. Oh, so the body just has a. What is a first? I still don't know what a first statement is. I see it once in a while in the code base, and I truly don't know what that means. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. Get new file imports and add export. I really would have thought that would be the thing that does it. You know, let's just go into this function, see what it does. Okay, so it does something with the old statements, import things used from the old file and export as necessary in the old file. That's fine. Make import or require. That strikes me as, you know, just really describing the thing I want to do or want to find. All right, here we go. We don't use, or we do use ES6 imports. All right, what is specifiers? It's a node object with end -1, position -1, so it's a newly created node with an identifier value. Okay. Aha, here we go. This is what we're looking for. We've created an import. Let's see. no specifier 0 or syntax kind of specifier 0.kind is an import specifier. I wish I could call specifier 0.getText, but because it's a newly created node, TypeScript isn't allowing that. Node must have a real position. I've seen this before. Underscore debug kind. Am I allowed to get that? Yep. Import specifier. Friendly little debug helper here. All right. So we created an import specifier. Not type only. The property name is undefined. And the identifier is I. What is I? Where does I come from? What is this? Oh, imports.map import. So it's imports of 0. All right. Got it. So the specifier is, I remember now. I've seen this. I know what I'm doing. The specifier is like import value from value is this part, the name. So we take in all the things we're supposed to import, which is a read-only array of strings. And then we make an import if necessary that takes in default imports, specifiers, pass a new file with correct extension, and quote preference. But path to a new file with correct extension is not the correct extension. It's /value. Look at that. So that's wrong. And that comes from path new file with correct extension equals get module specifier, blah, blah, blah. Is this function used in a lot of places? Let's find all references. I really hope not. Oh boy. Used in, oh, it's not so bad. Used in 1, 2, 3 places, this function. All right. So let's just test what happens if we path to new file with correct extension plus equals .js. Save without formatting. And is it here by local? I can never remember what the actual commands are in the TypeScript repo to build locally. Oh, that was fast. This is my first TypeScript contribution time since they changed the internal structure from old namespaces to ES modules. So that's very exciting. Start TS server with debugging enabled. Attached to node process. It says listening 9559, but I'm not seeing anything. So let me just restart the debug VS Code. There we go. 9559. Why is there no 95? Am I not using the right TypeScript? Select version, built local. Start. Yeah. Listening port. Come on. Come on, man. There we go. Please. Hey. But it's the. It was the compiled JS file, not the original source. So this might be ugly. Let's see if this works. Oh, we did hit the breakpoint. Okay, nice, nice, nice. All right, so path new file with correct extension. Now it's ./value.js. And moment of truth. Oh, it's hitting again. That's interesting. Hey, so my change here to add a JS, it fixed it. It now adds value.js. So that's nice. Can't ship that though. Gotta actually do the work to figure out whether we need to add the JS. Also, hello, I see a few people just joined. Welcome. I'm working on a contribution to TypeScript to fix this issue. I just posted it in the chat. The issue is the move to a new file refactor does not honor explicit file extensions. So I'll show the repo. If you're in a repo that uses module resolution node or node 16, you're supposed to be using explicit .js extensions in your imports. And TypeScript isn't respecting that in its move to new file refactor. So I'm making sure that it does add that .js in if it needs. Ooh, first time chat. Hello, welcome. Quick question. How does one even start with contributing to open source projects? Great question. One of these days, I'm going to have a good blog post answering that. That's a great common question people ask. But for now, hang on. Forgot to charge my phone. For now, I'd say first learn to code if that's what you want to contribute with. Or learn the type of stuff you want to contribute, whether it's design or code. Code's the most common. I see some people try to get started contributing when they don't actually know how to code yet. Like they do it while they're still learning their loops and functions, and that's kind of tricky. So first learn to code if that's what you want to contribute. Then find good first issues, meaning issues that have been labeled with the good first issue label on GitHub. Just going to some package at random. This first one, bitwarden/mobile. I like this website, goodfirstissue.dev. Shows off all sorts of different repos that have good first issues. Let's see. Just going to their first one. It's got this good first issue label. Maintainers who know to put good first issue typically will put a good amount of description of what's going wrong. And then, so once you have an issue that you want to tackle in a repo that's your tech stack, maybe you're like me and you like JavaScript and TypeScript, you can go to a site like Good First Issue or similar, look at those good first issues and send a pull request. You don't have to send a pull request. You can, if the issue is too difficult or not something you're interested in or just annoying, you can always find a different one. But one tip there is don't be afraid to ask for help. As long as you've done the research on the issue that they recommend, like trying it out locally, seeing if you can reproduce it. If you get stuck, ask for help. People love helping first contributors. Let me know if that answers the question you wanted to ask, if you have any follow-up questions. I always forget to mention in these. Please do ask questions and chat with me. I'd love to help you. Anything about development or me or open source or TypeScript, all that good stuff. Yay, I'm glad. All right, let me make a little progress here. All right, so what I was doing was I found the place in TypeScript that creates that new import statement. It uses ES6 imports, which is not quite the right word for it, but I feel like I'm not going to yell at the TypeScript team for using the wrong word. It creates a list of import specifiers. That's like this thing, import value, that name, and then creates an import if necessary with this path new file with correct extension. But that path to file with correct extension is wrong. It's not including the .js that it should. And is there like a hereby local -- watch I can use? Will that work? Nope. Hereby local : watch, local -watch, watch -local. All right, that's nice. Cool. So anyway, get module specifier, program.compiler options, source file to path to new file, create module specifier resolution host. I don't know what that is, but I need to make it so this get module specifier function adds a .js to the extension when it should. All right. Long comment. Something, why not use some other thing, importing source file.path, because when this is called by the declaration emitter, we're not getting called by the declaration emitter, so I don't care about that comment. All right, so there's this get module specifier worker. This is actually kind of a common pattern in the TypeScript code base. They'll have one function that takes in a bunch of settings, and then a second function with the same name plus worker that just mushes those settings together in some way. So let's go to that worker. All right. And so what I'm seeing, what it does is it gets info. I don't know what get info does, but it gets some information. And then it module path, get all module paths. And then it goes for the first module path that exists. Okay. That's interesting. So let's see if I can trigger this. Oh, it's not debugging anymore. 9559. Ugh, am I gonna have to restart? That's annoying. So I keep having to restart the TS server. 9559. No, I have to restart with debugging enabled. Listing port 9559. Attach node process. There we go. And move to new file. Okay. Hit the breakpoint. Going into get module specifier, and voila. Whee. So what is module paths? It is an array of paths where we try to get module name as module. So let me see if I can copy paste this into the debug console to see what it gives. Undefined. So that doesn't work. And then we do get local module specifier. I don't know what that does either, which is /value. Okay. So get local module specifier is where we're actually doing the work. Wonder how many places this is called. Oh, it's just in this one function or this one file. Cool. And where do we return? Da-da-da. All right. So in this get local module specifier, we find, let's look at all our variables. We have allowed endings, which is an array of some enum 0, 1, and 2. The source directory is tstemp. Our relative path is /value. Paths only is, what is this? Undefined. So we're returning just the relative path to the file. Okay. So I found the place in TypeScript that prints out the relative path to the file. But this relative path is what needs to have the JS extension added. Oh, we have a cat visitor. Jerry has entered the battlefield. Guy. Ooh, careful there, Jerry. He's a remarkably pliable cat, too, when he's tired. He's never scratched. He's just, sometimes he gets restless. He just wants to go do. To pop him back where he was. Alright, I think I'm going to need to kick him out of the room. One moment. Bye, Jerry. Okay, so I'm going to add like a function here. Add, what is the error message that happens in Node when you import something that needs to have, oh god, it was in my other repo, code template. So in an ESM project type module, if you don't have the specifier, what's it called? Oh, there's no like missing an extension complaint. So okay, never mind. All right, so I'm gonna call this function like add file extension if necessary, relative path, compiler options. You know, I see that there's the same line of code a few lines later, so I'll just every time we do relative path. Okay. All right, let's call this without extension, and then const relative path equals relative path without extension, and add file extension if necessary. Cool. So now I'm gonna make this a new function. Then if compiler options dot module resolution, and what is this again? It's a module resolution kind is the enum. Dot node 16 node next dot has compile dot includes, pardon me, compiler options dot module resolution. So if these are the case, then relative path without extension plus .js. Otherwise, it's just relative path without extension. Cool. And I'm just going to add this function a little closer to where it's used. Right. So this should fix it, I think. Let's see if it did. We have the relative path, which is if we do have one without extension. You know what? Let me just, I don't even think we need to check if it exists because TypeScript says it's always a string. So we have the relative path, and if the module resolution is node 16 or node next, then we add a JS. Let's see what happens. So I've got the terminal here running in watch mode, building TypeScript, move to new file. Hey, it did it. Just to make sure that I'm using the right TypeScript. Yippee! I'm going to add this bogus extension here. I see starting incremental compilation. All right, bunch of log messages, move to new file. Look at that. I love a quick demo. JS yippee. All right, so now I've got this code working. So that's great, actually. I wish I was less tired so I'd be able to emote more enthusiastically about this. But this is pleasing. And yeah, I'm gonna say that now the next step is to see if any tests fail. Hereby run tests. So the TypeScript project has a whole bunch of tests inside. Hereby run tests runs them, and I want to see if this fails any existing unit tests. I also, while this is running, because this is going to take a little while, pardon me, I also should I should see if there's a test that I should write for this new behavior, or just see what existing tests there are. Move to a new file. So I'm going to look for a move to a new file and see if there are any test files that reference it. This is a regular expression that allows anything between each of the words move to a new file. All right, so this refactors. Okay, so just going through the message in order, diagnostic messages.json is what defines that diagnostic. /impl, which I'm guessing is implementation. This is a bunch of utilities around. Okay, so excuse me. Move to new file, public move to new file. Does this have any references? Public move to new file. Okay, so looks like this, what does this actually do? This gets a range, finds all the refactors that have name, move to a new file, make sure there's exactly one, gets that action, make sure it's the right, okay, and then gets the edits and make sure they're right. Okay, so this move to new file function looks like it's what I would expect to be called in a unit test. All right, and what do you know? a whole bunch of unit tests that say verified dot move to new file. That's nice. We got binding pattern, clean up last name imports, bunch of different declaration kinds like functions and classes, decorators, formats, file name based on exporter name. Okay, so I want to see if any of these fail now because of the new logic I've added. So I'm actually gonna quit running my test, hereby run test, and then do test equals move to new file to just run these ones specifically. /test. Aha! We have one failure. Move to new file, import file extensions. Look at this. Module resolution node 16. Very nice. I'm visiting New York City later today for the next few days, and I'm dipping back into my New York City colloquialisms. Look at this. Okay. Oh, and it looks like got a failure where actual imports sumlibfn from /sumlibfn.js. Okay, so that's not good. That means that something in code is already adding a .js. And my change might not be in the right place. Next change. No, I was working in module specifiers. Yeah. All right, so for some reason, somehow this code already knew to use .js as the extension. So just, where's the the way that these files work is they use /, which is why they're under this directory called /. / is to start a comment instead of 2 or 3. And that defines all the file names in the test case. Then they do some action like verify that move to new file. Excuse me. All right, so source/main_ts selects, that's what these little indicators are, selects this function, like as the way I'm doing in my text now, and then does the move to new file action. Then it verifies that there's a .js in that import. So how is it that this unit test is adding a .js, but my sad little repro isn't? Let me open back up my template. I see in their package JSON they do type module, which is here, line 11. I see in their tsconfig module resolution node 16. So maybe it's just that maybe it's just that node is working or broken and node 16 is not. Let's move this to new file. Nope, that's not it. And I already used .js import, so it's not like TypeScript is failing to detect from existing imports, though when it would normally be able to. Like TypeScript just doesn't care about your existing imports. So that's weird. How is this thing working? And I actually forget how to debug these. Is it inspect? Okay. Attach to node process. Can I auto attach? Do I run test inspect? Nope, that didn't work. Disabled. Ooh, wait. Only with flag, only auto attach. No, I'm just gonna attach to process. All right, I see it. Hereby run tests. Got that Mocha breakpoint. I see the red circle. Yay! All right, so let's see how this test file looks. We've got, let's see, relative path without extension is /y. Oh man, I forgot to specify just the one test. It's running a whole bunch of them. Test move to new file _ import file extensions.ts. I need to just run this test, otherwise I'll get a whole bunch of crap from other tests in my debugger. Attach node process. There we go. Very nice. I'm just going to put the breakpoint later in the function. Okay. So we are, in fact, getting some libfn.js relative path without extension. So the without extension is working. Let's see where we get it from. Is it from the first part of it? No. It's from, oh, process ending. That's, I wonder if that's, if that's what I need. Okay, process ending. Then the part that's getting passed to process ending. Okay, so ensure path is non-module name of this get relative path from directory. Okay, so ensure path is non-module name is in fact adding a .js extension normally. So that's nice. In fact, this means that I can git add all, git reset hard head, just completely undo all the changes I made. Now let's look into ensure path is non-module name. And that does very little. It just adds // if needed. That's probably not what I need. Huh. Get relative path from directory. Oh, there it is. I missed it. Ensure path is non-module name of get relative path from directory. That still had a .ts extension. But process ending does in fact change it to .js. I missed that at first. Okay. So process ending is actually the juice. That's what I really want to do. Fudge. Oh, that's fine. Error on tests. Attach node process. Inspect break. All right. If file extension is one of, blah, blah, blah. All right. What are my allowed endings? 2. That is module specifier ending dot. Aha, interesting. So module specifier ending. Oof. Cat hair in my mouth. I wonder where that came from. Jerry. Module specifier ending, guessing is an enum saying how. So this is the user preferences pound import path ending. But I'm betting that if I were to check what this is set to in my demo repo, my tstemp, attach to node process 955. No, nope. Gotta reload window. I'm betting that this is going to be different. So we need to figure out where allowed ending comes from. That's wrong in my demo use case, but correct in the unit tests. So attach node process 9559. Actually going to delete all my breakpoints and just put one here. And move to new file. Boop. Nice. Allowed ending 0. Allowed endings, aha! So we do allow 0, 1, and 2, which is minimal, index, and the JS extension. So where does allowed endings come from? This comes from the args to the file. I'll just go up a few. That was too many. Let's go up 1. Here we go. Allowed endings, which is get allowed endings in preferred order. Preferred? Andrew Branch, you silly goose, you misspelled a word. And now Twitch people know that you did that. Okay. Allowed endings in preferred order. Go to. What? Where is the... This is a... Of course it is. It's a function passed as an argument to this. Ugh, I shouldn't have quit the debugger. Okay. Well, it's passed as a argument. And yeah, I'm just gonna plop back into the debugger to see where it comes from. Whoops. Move to new file. Okay. Get preference. Oh, look at that. Nice. It says preferences, which is an interface containing relative preferences and get allowed endings in preferred order. Okay. And that comes from get preferences, this function here. Oh boy. So that's this get allowed endings in preferred order function, which is syntax implied node format, whatever that is a parameter. All right, so this thing I don't think is respecting the compiler options. It's not respecting that. If compiler options dot module resolution is ESNext, then node next. Node 16 or node next, blah. If it's not one of those two, then we should be putting module specifier ending JS extension first. Instead, we are putting all of them. So that's not good. Oh boy. All right, so let me move to new file. All right. Let's see. All right, so preferred ending is, okay. So we're already saying that our preferred ending is the result of get preferred ending, which comes from, let's run again to see where this comes from. All right, move to new file, get preferred ending, get module specifier ending preference, which takes in these things. What is preferences undefined? The user doesn't have a setting. Resolution mode is 1. What is that? That's module. Okay, so resolution kind is module kind.common.js. I don't know what that is. Compiler options in the source file. And we don't have any actual preference from the user. And then, haha, here we go. Uses extension on imports source file. That's great. And I'm guessing that returns false. So that's why it's, yep. Okay, so at the end of the day, we are checking the user preferences. And if the user preferences don't care, then we base on the source file with this uses extension on imports function. Oh boy. So we actually do look at the extensions of the imports in the file that already exist. That's cool. Unfortunately, though, this doesn't take compiler options.module resolution into account. So let me just add some code here. If compiler module resolution kinds dot node 16 module resolution kinds dot node next dot includes compiler options dot module resolution return module specifier ending dot JS extension prod packages with type module generally always wants a .js extension. And because array includes is silly with types, it doesn't allow something that's nullable. If the array of things doesn't already have nullability. Just out of curiosity, this is in source compiler utilities, which means it's in like the utilities used all over TypeScript. But it's only ever used in get in two places, in string completions in the services and get preferred ending, which is used in get preferences, which is used only in, I think, things that are used by, well, anyway, it's used in a lot of places, so never mind. This is probably going to break something. Save without formatting. I'm still running in watch mode. All right, so now let's try this again. Move to new file. Yay, it's got the JS. And if I run tests on all the move to new file, you know, I'll just run it on the same one. See if it passes still. So the change I made was, instead of always adding a .js extension in the service code, I augmented the should I add a JS extension detection code that already exists, which feels cleaner to me. In retrospect, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, like there's probably already something that detects whether we should add a .js. And the test, oh, I added inspect, so the test is just pausing. That's nice. Thank you. Me. Nice, it passes. To new file. Ooh. They say, do what makes you forget to eat. And that's terrible advice, because eating the proper amount, not too much, not too little, is very important. But I forgot to eat this morning. Please enjoy the sound of me eating a that's it, 1 apple plus 20 blueberries bar. All right. So it works. Let's run it all tests. Actually, you know what? Let's run it all /tests. I don't know how I'm going to unit test this. Because it was already passing the unit test. You know what? Ooh, I see the first batch of /tests are still passing. I should actually... I'm going to put a breakpoint on the changed code. And I'm going to see if the existing test triggers it in some way. So inspect. I'm going to go to this function at the beginning of it actually. Attach node process, inspect. There we go. I want to see how this changes that logic there. All right, in the function. Aha! So it bails out early. If we don't allow importing the TS extension on the compiler options, what are the compiler options here? Really not that many of them. Should allow importing, come on. You know, I'm just gonna restart the debugger so that I can go into this function itself. Patch node process, inspect. And there we go. Compiler options, stop. So we don't allow importing TS extensions. Or we don't enable that explicit option. What does that actually mean? Well, I've never seen this compiler option before, so I'm going to go to aka.ms/tsconfig and look up allow importing TS extensions. That is an undocumented compiler option, not on the website, internal only. Oh wait, no, not internal only, not marked as internal, but okay. Well, how did we get here? The preference. The resolution mode is, all right, so the resolution mode was modulecon.esNext. Why wasn't the resolution mode ESNext in my real world attaching? let's attach to that. 9559. Nope. Of course, got to reload window. Start debugging enabled. All right. Attach node process 9559. Move to new file. Why is the resolution? Oh, that's right. Resolution mode here was 1. Module kind dot common JS. Oh my god. Is my TS temp not a type module? It's not. Ha. Ha. There it is. That's the difference. That's the difference. Okay. So if you don't have type module in your package.json, but you do have it specified as module resolution node 16 in your TS config, I'll just delete my value. And move to new file. There it is. Oh yeah. Good shit. Good stuff. Okay. So the problem is, just repeating again, TypeScript refers to your resolution mode based on your package JSON and doesn't look at your TS config. Nice. Nice. So in fact, the change I made before, I think I could even do earlier. I can look at your TS config here. Preference to JS or resolution mode is module kind JS, module kind of ES next, or you have module resolution set to node 16 or node next. Okay. Save without formatting. Cool. So the issue that's happening is that these users, myself included, are just forgetting to put type module or can't put type module in their package JSON. That's cool. By the way, I see some people have trickled in and out. So just restating, hello. Feel free to ask me any questions. Lurking is totally fine, but if you want to chat about development or open source or TypeScript or whatever, just let me know. Always happy to talk. All right. So this is nifty. Just making sure this still works. Let me reload window and move to new file. Yep, value.js. Oh, let me remove type module from my package actually and reload and make sure I still got the JS imports. Move to new file. Yep. All right. Where is this used? Used in string completions and just preferred ending here. All right. So now I think I know the test case I want to make. I want to make a type module version and a non-type module. And a non-type module, it's not type module. And actually, to be a good little dev, I should, oops, where did I make the change? I should make sure that the newly added unit test, the non-type module, fails if I don't include the new code changes, the fix. Let's just comment them out, save without formatting. Import file extensions, don't need to inspect. So if I hereby run tests and run them on move to new file, import file extensions, yep, the expected is to have a .js, but the actual does not. So now if I add the fixed code back in there, look at me, good dev eye, writing unit tests. And pass. Yay, they pass. Tests for move to new file. Let me just make sure all the new file. Awesome. Okay, we're an hour in, almost exactly, and a bunch of people just joined. So welcome. I'm actually finishing up this one, then I'll move to some other contributions somewhere once this is good to go. Okay, so what I did was I made it so TypeScript will add a .js extension to your move to new file auto-generated imports, not just if your user preference is that or if your package JSON specifies type module, but also if your TS config specifies module resolution kind as node 16 or node next. All right, so that's nice. Get checkout be module resolution TS config informed module specifier endings. What a name. Fix also respects compiler options module res compiler options module resolution for endings for import endings and for ending preferences. Close enough. Git push u origin ts config informed. All right. Let's get that. Ooh, almost a small enough title to make GitHub happy. All right, fixes. And let me just repost this issue in the chat one more time. Fixes 52886. Move to new file does not honor explicit file extensions. The root issue was that TypeScript only looks at your package JSON, only looks for user preferences or a package JSON type module in order to determine to use, when determining whether to add JS to extensions. But some projects don't have either of those. Some projects don't have either of those set, but still use compiler options node 16 or similar in their TS config. Alrighty. Cool. And resolution is JS or resolution mode, module kind gets next, that's already there. And then if we have module resolution kind node next or node 16 as the module resolution, and now we also add a unit test. Cool. And I'm going to make this a draft PR. I've learned the hard way on the TypeScript repo to always make it a draft pull request because you never know when some random unit test is going to fail that you never expected. All right, time to post this on the socials. Ooh, someone liked the thing. Okay, hang on. Where was I? All right, and I'm gonna actually just reply here instead. Got the PR after just under an hour. Publish. Yay! And will Twitter figure out the preview? Yes, it does. I remember when GitHub added these like little social media previews. Those are great. All right. So, what else should I work on? I got a lot of notifications. This is the life of an open source developer. I've just got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. Do y'all want me to work on anything in particular? Let me know. What do I actually want to work on? I kind of want to work on my template package. I'm gonna do some quick chores there. Let's see. What's this? That's something else. All right. So I've got this template TypeScript node package. I think it's a little more friendly of a. Oh hey, I just passed 100 stars. Nice. So I got this template package. And by the way, if y'all want to chat about anything, development, life, the universe, conferences, open source, whatever, happy to chat. Lurking's fine too. And in this template package, I've got a whole bunch of nice stuff set up for people. It's just a template you can use to make a new TypeScript repo with a whole bunch of CI integrated, like linting and formatting and automated releases. And I've been working on it for a little while here and there. Got a lot of issues here accepting PRs. And yeah. Oh, you know what I should do? I should try configuring the YAML linter. That'll be no, that's boring. I don't really want to do that. Let's see. I don't want to work on a good first issue because those are things that people who are new to coding or new to open source want to do. But not that many things left when you minus label good first issue. I don't really want to try knip v2 because that could be like a whole thing and I don't have enough time to get into it. I don't want to work on a docs thing. What do I want to do? I'll just try it out locally. See what happens. Alright. So, what do I do? Let's use this template. Create a new repo. Testing templates. Testing TS template. Let's work on that. You know what? I'm gonna post this on the social medias. Just to keep folks updated. Now I'm testing out the template. Testing out my template TS repo to see if there's anything I should fix up. Just 100 stars. Wait, I like that fancier emoji one. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you Trivicram for boosting the typescript-eslint post. Y'all, we just hit v6 beta in typescript-eslint. Y'all should try it out. Actually, oh my god, that's what I should do. I should work on making it use typescript-eslint 6 beta. That's a good thing to do. Alright. I just heard a bloop somewhere. Check my notifications. Alright. Yep, nothing going. Cool. Let's undo this stuff. Git checkout main, git pull, pm install. Alright. So actually, oh, of course, I'll try out typescript-eslint v6 beta, the repo. A good stream demo to encourage people to use this thing. So typescript-eslint, we've got a v6 beta. Let me just post on Twitter too. There we go. Announcing typescript-eslint v6 beta, yay! So we got a whole bunch of fun changes here that y'all should try out. And we're gonna try to get it 1 to 3 months of user testing before we release them in stable. So the first step is to, because this package already uses typescript-eslint, the tooling that lets you run eslint and prettier on TypeScript code. So I'm gonna really update these pm install to the rc-v6 tag, which is right now alpha 81. We've had 81 alphas of v6. All right. Ooh, and immediately I see issues with peer dependencies found. Great. So that might be annoying for people who are trying to use the beta. So let me just close all my other stuff. Oh, you know what? That's actually the tab I had open that I closed sillily. I started fixing the ESLint plugin to allow, wow, that was a weird GitHub bug, parser at 6. But Brad says this range won't match the RC version. Yeah, so let's look at node semver shenanigans. So right now, I'll open up that PR. Which one was it? 6630. I'll paste it here. Post on the socials, pardon the delay. A little silly how quickly this came up, but okay. All right, so problem is git diff head, which file was it? We need to say that the parser dependency should allow the 5.0 or the 6.0 versions, but I'm thinking Brad's right that this is like a fun quirk of node semver that semver.satisfies, let's say 1, 2, 3, that allows. Now, is it cool? I think it doesn't allow alpha tags. Let's see. So 600 should satisfy caret 600, but if we do dash alpha 81, no, it doesn't. Or so we have to do 600 dash alpha. Okay. 600 dash alpha, because this is in an alpha version. I hate this. It's silly. It really is silly to me that an alpha version is not what actually satisfies the same major version semver with the caret. All right, well, anyway. Alpha caret. Right, here. You're right. Semver that satisfies 600 alpha 81 6 is false. Is there a better way than allowing alpha? I don't think so. And I'll re-request Brad's review. Isn't that fun? Anyway, back to trying out typescript-eslint v6 in the template TypeScript node package. So PNPM is just warning about the issues with peer deps. This is fine. Anyway, eslint rc.cjs. So we got some good stuff. We have a new stylistic. Whatever, preset config. And then we also have slight rename. So it's strict and stylistic type checked for files that can support type checking. So all TS files, excluding those that are inside a .md file, are now going to be type checked, or have lint rules that use type checking rather. They are already type checked. Let's see if I run pm run lint. Cool. So otherwise, v6 is actually working pretty reasonably well. So that makes me happy. Let me just make sure if I go to some random file and like export function, this fails. New promise, resolve set timeout, resolve 1000. This should give a lint complaint about floating async await. Is this not gonna? All right, let's do an async function, value string. Oh wait, value. This should trigger a lint complaint. Okay, there we go. Unexpected await a non-promise value, and promises must be awaited. Blah blah blah. All right. Start ESLint server. Why is this not working? There we go. Okay. Must have needed to restart after reinstalling pnpm packages. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, check out the TypeScript ESLint v6 and log status. Sure bumped TypeScript ESLint to v6 alpha beta. Push u origin TypeScript ESLint v6. It is weird that we call it a beta in our nomenclature, but actually the package tag is alpha. I wonder if there's a way to search for that. Well, whatever. There's no actual explicit alpha mentioned in our release files, so whatever. Just testing it out. Sparkles. Boop. More sparkles. All right. I've been here for an hour and a quarter, and my back is getting tired, and I'm getting tired, so I think now is a good stopping time. I sent a pull request to TypeScript. Ooh, let me check actually. How is that poll doing? It's got a red X. No. Who's failing? Linter. Oh. That's not related to my stuff. Parsing error TS whatever is not a function. So looks like, okay, actually, you know what? I remember this. Jake Bailey from the TypeScript team was working on some stuff. We were chatting about this like whatever 7 hours ago, 9 hours ago, that they have some quirk of how they configure TypeScript ESLint that breaks this thing. That's fun. Anyway, this linter stuff is not my doing, so I'm gonna ignore it. And wow, a lot of failures. So not my problem, but I'm just gonna mark it ready for review. Let's see if an issue has been filed. Nothing within the last couple of days. Did Jake send a aha? Here we go. This is a fun one. Cool. So the version of TypeScript we have in our package.json was an old build that predated some API changes, but TS-ESLint is now updated to support 5.0 and assumes new APIs are present. So we broke on the dependency bump last night. Cool. All right. I can't approve, so I guess I'll just give it a thumbs up. And I'll mention build failures will be fixed by this. It's not really build, it's more like lint failures. All right, cool. So this was fun. Last thing is, who should I raid? None of the people who I follow are streaming right now. So let's just look up. Twitch TV, who's working on TypeScript? Who has the fewest people who are actually... I do follow TypeScript Tea Time. Okay. Live channels tagged. Okay. This person. Oh, they just started. Core functions initiated. Let's follow them. There's no one else you'd suggest. I'm going to do that. Anyway, this was a pleasure. Thanks, y'all, for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe and do all those things. Anyway, open source is fun, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you in your open source journey. Bye!